Welcome, listeners. Today, we're diving into an exciting topic, the evolving landscape of risk management for chartered accountants. I'm thrilled to explore this with you.
Absolutely. It's a rapidly changing field, especially with the advent of AI and GenAI. These technologies are reshaping how we approach risk management across industries.
You're right. Traditional risk management practices are being disrupted. For CAs, this means adapting to new methodologies and tools. How do you see this impacting their roles?
Well, it's creating opportunities for CAs to expand beyond traditional financial roles. They can now leverage their expertise in broader, more strategic positions within risk management.
Interesting point. Do you think this shift is driven more by technological advancements or changing business needs?
I'd say it's a combination of both. Businesses are facing more complex risks, and AI is providing tools to manage them effectively. CAs are uniquely positioned to bridge this gap.
That makes sense. Speaking of unique positions, how do you think CAs can best prepare for these new opportunities?
Great question. I believe upskilling is key. CAs need to familiarize themselves with AI and GenAI technologies, understand their applications in risk management, and develop strategic thinking skills.
Absolutely. It's not just about understanding the tech, but also about seeing the bigger picture in terms of risk across an organization.
Exactly. And this broader perspective allows CAs to take on leadership roles in risk management. They can guide companies in integrating these new technologies into their risk strategies.
That's a crucial point. Do you have any examples of how CAs are already stepping into these leadership roles?
Certainly. I've seen CAs leading cross-functional teams in implementing AI-driven risk assessment tools. They're often the ones translating complex risk data into actionable insights for C-suite executives.
That's impressive. It really shows how the role of CAs is evolving from number crunchers to strategic advisors in risk management.
Definitely. And it's not just in finance-heavy industries. We're seeing CAs make significant contributions in sectors like healthcare, tech, and even government, applying their risk management skills in diverse contexts.
Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into the key risk management areas where CAs can excel. Financial risk management is obviously a natural fit. How do you see CAs applying their skills here?
Absolutely. In financial risk management, CAs can leverage their expertise in financial analysis and reporting to identify and mitigate risks related to market volatility, credit exposure, and liquidity. Their understanding of complex financial instruments is invaluable in this domain.
That makes sense. What about operational risk management? It seems like a broader field where CAs might need to expand their skill set.
You're right. In operational risk management, CAs can apply their knowledge of internal controls and process efficiency. They're well positioned to identify potential risks in business operations and suggest mitigation strategies.
Interesting. Moving on to compliance and regulatory risk, this seems like an area where CAs already have a strong foundation.
Definitely. CAs are well versed in regulatory requirements and compliance procedures. They can help organizations navigate the complex landscape of financial regulations, ensuring adherence and minimizing the risk of non-compliance.
It's crucial in today's regulatory environment. Now, cybersecurity and data privacy risk might be a newer area for many CAs. How do you see them contributing here?
While cybersecurity might seem technical, CAs can play a vital role in assessing the financial implications of data breaches and privacy violations. They can also help in developing robust data governance frameworks.
That's a great point. Lastly, let's touch on strategic risk management. How can CAs make an impact in this area?
In strategic risk management, CAs can utilize their analytical skills to evaluate risks associated with business strategies and decisions. They can provide valuable insights on how different strategic choices might impact the organization's financial health and risk profile.
It's clear that CAs have a lot to offer across these risk management domains. How do you think AI and GenAI are changing the game in these areas?
That's a great question. AI and GenAI are transforming risk management practices in all these areas. For instance, in financial risk management, AI algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data to predict market trends and potential risks more accurately than ever before.
Fascinating. And I imagine in operational risk management, AI could help identify inefficiencies or potential points of failure in business processes, right?
Exactly. AI can continuously monitor operational metrics and flag anomalies in real time, allowing for proactive risk mitigation. In compliance and regulatory risk, GenAI can keep track of changing regulations across different jurisdictions and help ensure ongoing compliance.
That's impressive. It seems like these technologies are not just tools, but are fundamentally changing how we approach risk management.
Absolutely. And this is where CAs can really shine by combining their domain expertise with these new technological capabilities. By understanding and leveraging AI and GenAI, CAs can take on leadership roles in shaping an organization's overall risk management strategy.
Now that we've set the stage for AI's impact on risk management, let's dive deeper into some specific applications. How are predictive analytics being used to identify potential risks?
Predictive analytics are revolutionizing risk identification. For instance, machine learning algorithms can analyze historical financial data, market trends, and economic indicators to forecast potential credit risks or market volatility.
That's fascinating. It seems like this could significantly enhance a CA's ability to provide strategic insights. What about real-time risk monitoring?
Real-time risk monitoring is another game changer. AI systems can continuously analyze data streams from various sources, flagging anomalies or potential risks as they emerge. This allows for much quicker response times to emerging threats.
I can see how that would be invaluable. Speaking of response times, how is AI impacting compliance checks and reporting?
AI is streamlining compliance processes through automated checks and reporting. Natural language processing, NLP, can scan regulatory documents and automatically update compliance requirements, ensuring organizations stay ahead of regulatory changes.
That's impressive. It seems like it could free up a lot of time for CAs to focus on more strategic tasks. How about fraud detection? That's always been a critical area for CAs.
Absolutely. AI has dramatically enhanced fraud detection capabilities. Machine learning algorithms can analyze patterns in transactional data to identify potential fraudulent activities much faster and more accurately than traditional methods.
That's crucial in today's fast-paced business environment. Lastly, how is AI being used in scenario modeling and stress testing?
AI is transforming scenario modeling and stress testing by processing vast amounts of data to create more complex and realistic scenarios. This allows organizations to better prepare for a wider range of potential risks and outcomes.
It's clear that AI is reshaping every aspect of risk management. How do you think CAs can best leverage these technologies in their roles?
CAs can leverage AI by focusing on interpretation and strategic application of AI-generated insights. They need to understand how these tools work to effectively communicate their implications to stakeholders and guide decision-making.
That makes sense. It seems like the role of CAs is shifting from data analysis to data interpretation and strategic advisory. How can CAs prepare for this shift?
CAs should focus on developing a strong understanding of AI and data science fundamentals. They don't need to become programmers, but they should understand AI capabilities and limitations to effectively integrate these tools into risk management strategies.
Great point. It sounds like continuous learning and adaptability are key. Any final thoughts on the future of CAs and AI-driven risk management?
The future is bright for CAs who embrace these changes. By combining their financial expertise with AI literacy, CAs can position themselves as indispensable strategic partners in navigating the complex risk landscape of the future.
Now that we've explored the impact of AI on risk management, let's focus on the essential skills CAs need to develop to excel in modern risk management roles. Data analytics and interpretation seem crucial. How do you see this playing out in practice?
Absolutely. Data analytics is fundamental. CAs need to be proficient in interpreting large datasets and extracting meaningful insights. For instance, they might use predictive analytics to forecast financial risks based on market trends and company data.
That's a great example. Moving on to AI and machine learning fundamentals, how deep do CAs need to go into this area?
While CAs don't need to become data scientists, they should understand the basics of AI and machine learning. This knowledge helps them collaborate effectively with data teams and interpret AI-generated risk reports accurately.
Makes sense. Process automation is another key area. How can CAs leverage this in risk management?
Process automation is crucial for efficiency. CAs can use it to streamline routine risk assessment tasks, allowing more time for strategic analysis. For example, automating data collection for compliance reports can significantly reduce manual effort.
That's valuable. Now, cybersecurity basics seem increasingly important. How do you see this fitting into a CA skill set?
Cybersecurity knowledge is essential as financial data becomes more digitized. CAs should understand basic cybersecurity principles to assess and manage risks related to data breaches and cyber threats effectively.
Definitely a critical skill in today's digital world. Strategic thinking and business acumen are also on our list. How do these apply in risk management?
Strategic thinking allows CAs to connect risk management with overall business objectives. They need to understand how various risks impact the company's strategy and bottom line. This skill is crucial for taking on leadership roles in risk management.
That's a great point. Lastly, let's talk about effective communication of complex risk concepts. Why is this so important?
Communication is key. CAs must be able to translate complex risk data into clear, actionable insights for stakeholders. This might involve creating visual dashboards or presenting risk scenarios in a way that non-technical executives can understand and act upon.
Now that we've covered the essential skills, let's dive into specific upskilling strategies for CAs looking to enhance their risk management capabilities. What certifications would you recommend for CAs in this field?
Excellent question. Pursuing relevant certifications is a great starting point. The Financial Risk Manager (FRM) certification is highly regarded in the industry. It covers various aspects of financial risk and aligns well with a CA's background.
That makes sense. Are there any certifications more focused on the technology side of risk management?
Absolutely. The Certified Information Systems Auditor (CISA) certification is valuable for CAs interested in IT risk management and cybersecurity. It bridges the gap between financial expertise and technology risks.
Those sound like solid options. Beyond certifications, what about workshops and seminars? How can these benefit CAs in upskilling for risk management?
Workshops and seminars are excellent for staying current with the latest trends. Many professional organizations offer workshops on AI and data analytics in risk management. These provide hands-on experience and networking opportunities with industry experts.
That's valuable. Speaking of staying current, how do you see online courses and MOOCs fitting into a CA's upskilling strategy?
Online courses and MOOCs are incredibly flexible options. Platforms like Coursera and edX offer courses on risk management, AI, and data science from top universities. This allows CAs to learn at their own pace and often include practical projects.
That flexibility is crucial for busy professionals. Mentorship is another strategy we've mentioned. How can CAs go about finding mentors in risk management?
Finding a mentor can be transformative. CAs can seek out experienced risk management professionals through professional networks or LinkedIn. Many industry associations also offer mentorship programs. A mentor can provide invaluable insights and guidance on career progression in risk management.
Great advice. Lastly, let's talk about industry forums and conferences. How important are these for CAs looking to advance in risk management?
Industry forums and conferences are crucial. They offer opportunities to learn about cutting-edge practices, network with peers, and gain insights from thought leaders. Events like the annual GARP Risk Convention or ASA's risk management conferences are excellent for CAs to immerse themselves in the field.
It sounds like there are many paths for CAs to upskill in risk management. Any final thoughts on how to approach this journey?
Absolutely. The key is to create a balanced upskilling plan. Combine formal education like certifications with practical experience through workshops and projects. Stay curious, network actively, and always be open to learning. The field of risk management is evolving rapidly, and continuous learning is essential for success.
Now let's shift our focus to how chartered accountants can position themselves for leadership roles in risk management. What transferable skills from their CA background do you think are particularly valuable?
Great question. CAs bring a strong foundation in analytical thinking, attention to detail, and ethical decision-making. These skills are crucial in risk management leadership. For instance, their ability to analyze complex financial data translates well to assessing diverse risk factors.
That makes sense. How can CAs develop a more holistic view of organizational risk beyond just financial aspects?
To gain a holistic view, CAs should actively seek exposure to different business units. They could participate in cross-functional projects or shadow colleagues in operations or IT. This broader perspective allows them to understand how various risks interconnect across the organization.
That's a great point. Speaking of cross-functional work, how important is it for CAs in risk management to build and lead diverse teams?
It's crucial. Effective risk management requires input from various disciplines. CAs can leverage their communication skills to foster collaboration between finance, IT, operations, and legal teams. This collaborative approach ensures a comprehensive risk assessment and management strategy.
Collaboration is key indeed. How can CAs drive innovation in risk management processes?
CAs can drive innovation by combining their financial expertise with new technologies. For example, they could spearhead the implementation of AI-driven risk assessment tools, or develop predictive models for emerging risks. Their understanding of both finance and business processes makes them ideal for leading such initiatives.
That's fascinating. How about aligning risk management strategies with overall business objectives? This seems like a critical leadership skill.
Absolutely. CAs are well positioned to align risk strategies with business goals due to their understanding of financial impacts. They can help translate risk metrics into business value, showing how effective risk management contributes to the company's bottom line and strategic objectives.
Can you give an example of a CA who has successfully transitioned into a senior risk management position?
Certainly. I recently read about Sarah Chen, a CA who became the chief risk officer at a major bank. She leveraged her accounting background to implement a comprehensive risk assessment framework that integrated financial and operational risks. Her success came from combining her CA skills with a deep understanding of the banking industry's risk landscape.
That's an inspiring example. What strategies did she employ to make this transition?
Sarah focused on continuous learning. She pursued relevant certifications in risk management and actively sought mentorship from experienced risk professionals. She also volunteered for projects outside her comfort zone, which helped her gain a broader perspective on organizational risks.
It sounds like a combination of formal education and practical experience was key. Are there any other success stories you can share?
Another interesting case is Mark Johnson, a CA who became the head of enterprise risk management at a tech company. He stood out by developing expertise in cybersecurity risks, which was crucial for the company. Mark's success came from his ability to translate complex technical risks into financial terms that resonated with the board.
These examples really highlight the diverse opportunities for CAs in risk management leadership. Any final thoughts on how CAs can position themselves for these roles?
I'd say the key is to be proactive. CAs should seek opportunities to demonstrate their risk management skills, even in their current roles. This could involve leading a risk assessment project or developing new risk reporting metrics. Showing initiative and the ability to think strategically about risk can open doors to leadership positions.
Now, let's dive into some specific case studies of chartered accountants who have made significant contributions to risk management. Can you share a story about a CA who implemented an AI-driven fraud detection system?
Absolutely. Let's look at the case of John Smith, a CA who became the head of risk at a major bank. John spearheaded the implementation of an AI-driven fraud detection system that revolutionized the bank's risk management practices.
That sounds intriguing. What challenges did John face during this implementation?
John's main challenge was integrating the AI system with the bank's existing infrastructure. He also had to navigate concerns about data privacy and ensure the AI's decision-making process was transparent and explainable to regulators.
How did John overcome these challenges?
John leveraged his CA background to create a comprehensive implementation plan. He collaborated closely with IT and legal teams, ensuring the system met all regulatory requirements. He also developed a robust governance framework for the AI system, which was crucial for gaining stakeholder buy-in.
What were the outcomes of this implementation?
The results were impressive. The AI system increased fraud detection rates by 40%, while reducing false positives by 25%. This not only saved the bank millions in potential fraud losses, but also improved customer experience by reducing unnecessary transaction blocks.
That's a remarkable achievement. Do you have another example, perhaps in a different industry?
Certainly. Let's look at Sarah Johnson, a CA who transitioned into the role of Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, at a tech company. Sarah revolutionized the company's cybersecurity risk management approach.
Interesting. What specific changes did Sarah implement?
Sarah introduced a risk-based approach to cybersecurity, prioritizing the protection of critical assets based on their potential impact on the business. She also implemented advanced threat intelligence tools and developed a comprehensive incident response plan.
How did Sarah's CA background contribute to her success in this role?
Sarah's financial acumen allowed her to quantify cybersecurity risks in monetary terms, which was crucial for securing budget and resources. She also used her audit skills to develop robust processes for continuous monitoring and improvement of security controls.
What were the outcomes of Sarah's initiatives?
The company saw a 60% reduction in successful cyber attacks within a year. Sarah's risk-based approach also led to more efficient allocation of security resources, resulting in a 20% cost saving in the cybersecurity budget while improving overall security posture.
These are compelling examples. Do you have one more case study to share?
Yes, let's look at Michael Chen, a CA who developed an innovative operational risk framework for a multinational corporation. Michael's approach integrated financial, operational, and strategic risks into a single comprehensive framework.
What was unique about Michael's approach?
Michael's framework used advanced data analytics to identify correlations between different types of risks. This allowed the company to anticipate how a risk in one area might impact others, enabling more proactive risk management.
How did Michael implement this framework across a large multinational corporation?
Michael utilized a phased approach, starting with a pilot in one division and gradually rolling it out company-wide. He also developed a rigorous training program to ensure all key stakeholders understood and could effectively use the new framework.
What impact did this framework have on the company's risk management practices?
The framework led to a 30% improvement in risk prediction accuracy. It also facilitated better decision-making at the executive level by providing a holistic view of the company's risk landscape. As a result, the company was able to navigate market uncertainties more effectively, leading to improved financial performance.
These success stories are truly inspiring. They demonstrate the immense potential for CAs in risk management leadership roles. What common themes do you see across these cases?
The key themes are clear: leveraging CA skills in new contexts, embracing technology, and developing a strategic approach to risk management. These CAs all demonstrated the ability to translate their financial expertise into broader risk management insights, driving significant value for their organizations.
As we look to the future of risk management, there are some exciting trends emerging. One area that's gaining a lot of attention is the integration of ESG factors into risk assessment. How do you see this impacting the role of CAs?
ESG integration is definitely a game changer. CAs are well positioned to lead in this area, given their expertise in financial reporting and analysis. They can help companies quantify and report on ESG risks, which are becoming increasingly important to investors and regulators.
That's a great point. Speaking of emerging technologies, quantum computing is another trend that's generating buzz. How might this impact complex risk modeling?
Quantum computing has the potential to revolutionize risk modeling. It could allow for much more sophisticated analysis of complex financial instruments and market dynamics. CAs who understand these capabilities could play a crucial role in developing and interpreting these advanced risk models.
Fascinating. Another technology that's gaining traction is blockchain. How do you see this impacting risk management, particularly in terms of transparency and traceability?
Blockchain technology offers unprecedented levels of transparency and traceability in financial transactions. This could significantly reduce certain types of risk, like fraud. CAs with blockchain knowledge could lead initiatives to implement these systems and develop new risk management strategies around them.
That's an exciting prospect. On a different note, there's been talk about using augmented reality for risk visualization and training. What are your thoughts on this?
Augmented reality could be a powerful tool for risk management. Imagine being able to visualize complex risk scenarios in 3D, or conduct immersive training simulations. CAs could use these tools to better communicate risk concepts to stakeholders and train teams more effectively.
That sounds like it could really enhance understanding of complex risk scenarios. Lastly, we're seeing a rise in chief risk officer roles across industries. How can CAs position themselves for these opportunities?
The rise of CRO roles is a great opportunity for CAs. To position themselves, they should focus on developing a broad understanding of risk across different domains: financial, operational, strategic, and technological. They should also hone their leadership and communication skills, as CROs need to influence at the highest levels of an organization.
As we wrap up our discussion on opportunities for chartered accountants in risk management, let's focus on the challenges and barriers they might face when transitioning into leadership roles. What do you think is one of the biggest obstacles?
One significant challenge is the resistance to change within traditional finance departments. Many organizations are still accustomed to seeing CAs in purely financial roles, which can make it difficult for them to break into broader risk management positions.
That's a great point. How do you think CAs can overcome this resistance?
CAs can tackle this by actively seeking out cross-functional projects and demonstrating their value in risk-related initiatives. They should also focus on building relationships across different departments and showcasing their ability to think beyond just financial risks.
Absolutely. Another challenge I've noticed is the competition from specialists in other fields, like data scientists or IT professionals. How can CAs differentiate themselves?
That's a valid concern. CAs can differentiate themselves by leveraging their unique combination of financial acumen and business understanding. They should also upskill in areas like data analytics and AI, allowing them to bridge the gap between financial expertise and technological innovation.
Speaking of upskilling, keeping pace with rapidly evolving technology seems like a significant hurdle. How can CAs stay ahead of the curve?
Continuous learning is key. CAs should invest time in attending workshops, pursuing relevant certifications, and even participating in hackathons or tech meetups. It's also crucial to stay informed about emerging technologies through industry publications and online courses.
That's great advice. Another challenge I've observed is balancing technical expertise with strategic thinking. How can CAs develop this balance?
Developing this balance requires conscious effort. CAs should seek opportunities to contribute to strategic discussions, perhaps by volunteering for company-wide initiatives. They can also benefit from mentorship programs, learning from leaders who have successfully made this transition.
Excellent point. Lastly, there's the challenge of managing increased regulatory scrutiny and complexity. How can CAs navigate this aspect?
CAs are actually well positioned to handle regulatory challenges due to their background in compliance. However, they should stay updated on evolving regulations, particularly those related to emerging technologies and risk management practices. Joining professional networks and attending regulatory forums can be helpful.
As we conclude our discussion on opportunities for chartered accountants and risk management, let's recap the main points we've covered. We've explored the evolving landscape of risk management, the impact of AI and GenAI, and the key areas where CAs can make a significant impact. What do you think are the most crucial takeaways?
Great question. I believe the key takeaways are: firstly, the importance of embracing technological advancements, particularly AI and GenAI, in risk management practices. Secondly, the need for CAs to upskill in areas like data analytics, cybersecurity, and strategic thinking. And thirdly, the growing opportunities for CAs to take on leadership roles in risk management across various industries.
Those are excellent points. Now, let's provide our listeners with a clear action plan. For CAs at different career stages, what specific steps would you recommend they take to position themselves for success in risk management?
For early career CAs, I'd recommend focusing on building a strong foundation in risk management principles alongside their financial expertise. This could involve pursuing certifications like the FRM or CISA. They should also seek out opportunities to work on risk-related projects within their current roles.
That's solid advice. What about mid-career professionals looking to transition into risk management?
Mid-career CAs should leverage their experience to take on more strategic roles in risk management. They could look for opportunities to lead risk assessment initiatives or develop new risk management frameworks. Networking with risk management professionals and joining relevant industry associations can also open doors to new opportunities.
And for those already in senior positions?
Senior CAs should focus on staying ahead of emerging trends and technologies in risk management. They could consider taking on advisory roles, mentoring younger professionals, or even pursuing board positions where they can influence risk strategies at the highest level.
Those are great recommendations. As we wrap up, what final thoughts would you like to share with our listeners about the future of risk management for CAs?
I believe the future is incredibly bright for CAs in risk management. As businesses face increasingly complex risks, the unique combination of financial acumen, analytical skills, and ethical decision-making that CAs bring to the table will be more valuable than ever. By embracing new technologies, continuously upskilling, and taking a strategic approach to risk, CAs can position themselves as indispensable leaders in this evolving field.
Thank you for those insightful comments. To our listeners, we hope this podcast has provided valuable insights and inspiration for your career journey in risk management. Remember, the key is to stay curious, keep learning, and be proactive in seeking out new opportunities. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the exciting world of risk management.